Virginia, counting down to the first and only vice presidential debate tonight. This will be the first time that Mike Pence and Tim Kaine have actually ever met in person. Pretty amazing, even though both of them, of course, have been in politics in this country for decades. We're learning more at this moment about the vice presidential candidates' final preparations for tonight's debate. Will they be more or less rehearsed than their running mates? Obviously a crucial question. Jim Acosta is with me now. And Jim, how did Mike Pence get ready for tonight?
He is ready, Aaron. I'm told by a campaign official that Mike Pence has been practicing for tonight's debate since the Indiana governor got the call from Donald Trump. Get this, back in July. Now, check this out. We want to show you the sharp contrast between Pence's debate prep and Trump's practice sessions. While Trump prepped with no stand-in for Hillary Clinton, instead huddling with advisors Rudy Giuliani, Chris Christie, Steve Bannon, and Kellyanne Conway, Pence has gone the more traditional route. We do know the sessions took place around a table and that Pence has been prepping for weeks with Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker, who played Tim Kaine, and Pence advisor and rising GOP star Nick Ayers played the role of the moderator. Now, other top Pence aides were also in the room. Pence held these sessions in both Indianapolis and Wisconsin, and he sparred so much with the Wisconsin governor, Aaron, that one official joked Pence is glad he's not debating Scott Walker. The Indiana governor has also been, quote, going over binders of material, and he's also reviewing his congressional record, I'm told, knowing full well that Tim Kaine will likely go after the Indiana governor's time in Congress when he was in the Republican leadership. So not just what happened in Indianapolis when Mike Pence was in Indianapolis, but also when he was a top Republican in Washington, D.C. That's going to be crucial as well, Aaron.
All right. Thank you very much, Jim. And now let's go to Tim Kaine's debate preparations here in these final moments. Brianna, what are you learning about Tim Kaine? And, you hear about Mike Pence not doing it the Trump way. What did Tim Kaine do?
Well, we know Tim Kaine and his team have been pretty tight-lipped about the way that he is preparing, but he's been preparing not far from here in his hometown of Richmond, Virginia, as well as in Raleigh, North Carolina, a chance to get away and prepare intensely. But he, too, Aaron, has been sitting at a table, as we will see him tonight, sitting with Mike Pence and the moderator during this debate. And playing Mike Pence in these preparations is Bob Barnett, Washington's super lawyer and agent who has spent 10 cycles now helping candidates prepare for debates. Most recently, he played Bernie Sanders in debate preparation opposite Hillary Clinton in the primaries. And Tim Kaine has described Barnett as, quote, extremely tough in these preparations. Also helping Tim Kaine out, Karen Dunn and Ron Klain, who have been helping Hillary Clinton out. They've been leading her debate preparation, so that has taken a bit of a pause while they've helped out Tim Kaine and really helping him in a kind of debate that even he says is a little different than he's used to. He has debated, but he's normally been asking voters to support him, to vote for him. Now he has to sell voters on Hillary Clinton's vision for the country, Aaron.
All right, Brianna, thank you. So the vice presidential candidates, as you hear about in the specifics for this debate, have been preparing for weeks and weeks, but really for months. And it all comes down to how tonight plays out. This is their one and only debate. I'm joined now by our distinguished political panel, so let's get straight to it. Mike Pence and Tim Kaine have built their reputations on being the nice guy in both cases. And tonight, well, they're going to have moments where they are simply not so nice. Here's how they've tested the waters on the campaign trail.
Since I've been governor of the state of Indiana, unemployment has been cut almost in half, and it doubled under Tim Kaine.
This is somebody who has said LGBT people would bring about a societal collapse. That's just not right, folks. Just not right.
It does seem to me he's just a pretty good match for Hillary Clinton. I mean, if you want more taxes, more spending, more regulation, more government, and fewer jobs, just vote for the Clinton-Kaine ticket.
Now add to it this latest thing, which is almost surreal, which is Donald Trump and Mike Pence's unusual fascination with Vladimir Putin. I mean, this is almost nightmare scenario.
All right, Andre and Hillary, let me start with you. So, all right, what does Mike Pence need to do tonight? Everyone agrees he has the steeper hill to climb.
No question. Mike Pence is going to come out looking like a president, talking like a president. He's qualified by no question to be president, as is Tim Kaine. But what he's got to do is he's got to convince the American people that he is a genuine, authentic individual who doesn't speak Washingtonian. He doesn't have the slick phrases that people that usually run for president, but he's authentic and he can get the job done, and he's a businessman. And so he's not going to be normally what people are used to, but more than ever, our country needs a change agent, someone who can come in and turn Washington and our economy around. And
What does he
Trump is
do
that guy.
when asked, if asked, as certainly brought up by Tim Kaine, about Donald Trump's comments about a beauty queen being fat or other things like that? What does Mike Pence do about
think
that?
he
That isn't an
realizes
area
it.
where he's comfortable, okay? Does he defend it?
Somewhat he defends it, but he deflects it too. He's got to talk about what Donald Trump's strong suits are, and that's business, turning the economy around, being an outsider, coming to Washington as a change agent, and not get drilled down and do what Donald did and talk about those issues. Those aren't the issues that win the votes. He needs to deflect them. He needs to move on to the strong suit of the campaign, why the people elected him as the party nominee.
Okay, so Hillary, does Tim Kaine try to force Mike Pence to defend those things, some of the indefensibles, or does he try to go after more substantive issues?
Well, there's no question he's going to try and tie Pence with Donald Trump. And, but Pence is a skilled politician. He's not Donald Trump. He's not a change agent. He's been in office for 30 years. And he as a politician, he's a little better at deflecting and moving on to not answering questions he doesn't want to answer. Tim Kaine and Mike Pence both have been in public office for a long time. They have records. And so you will see Tim Kaine do more on substance, I think, tonight than we saw perhaps in the presidential debate, because whether it's appealing to women with Pence's attacks on Planned Parenthood or on climate change, other issues that you will see Tim Kaine holding Mike Pence and the Donald Trump ticket with their feet to the fire in a way that appeals to those centrist voters, because much of the country is center-left of Donald Trump and Mike Pence on those issues. This is a big opportunity. The other thing that's worth noting, though, is that this is their shot. This is the biggest audience these two guys are ever going to have to be seen as potential presidents.
Right.
And they're both going to have to rise to that occasion. I think you'll see Tim Kaine really ready for that. The one other thing I would say is, I've been thinking that the unspoken issue tonight is that Tim Kaine is out there saying, I'm a white guy comfortable with Hillary Clinton as my leader. That is kind of an important thing. He's going to be out there promoting Hillary Clinton in a way that a lot of men have not been doing.
That's an interesting point.
And give an extra level of comfort, I think, to voters on that score.
It'll be interesting to see how the women issue goes. Of course, you have a female moderator here. I know recently Mike Pence was telling me his views on women and child care have changed over the years, so he's trying to temper that. We'll see how that plays tonight, because tonight really is, Jamie, the curtain raiser for round two. Round two, which Donald Trump desperately needs to go very differently than round one. Your reporting shows that there is a lot of focus at the very highest levels of the GOP on this.
So these are GOP establishment, longtime leaders who know about debates, who are backing Donald Trump. And they feel that debate number two for Trump cannot be anything like debate number one. They want him to be more disciplined. They want him to practice. One said to me, he has to stop going down rabbit holes. He has to stop chasing the rabbits. He has to learn to answer a question with two sentences, and guess what? Pivot to where he wants to go. Can't take the bait. They all also said the following: they're not sure he's capable of doing it. And one of the things we just found out a few hours ago is that Donald Trump announced he is live tweeting tonight's debate. So he may be overshadowing and stealing the show tonight before we even get.
Which John, is a crucial point. By the way, this is a man who banned the word pivot. One of his close advisors told me, he came in, they said, you can't say the word pivot or he will kick you out of his office.
All three of Donald Trump's campaign managers, and the turnovers came pretty quickly, have promised those leaders of the party, from Reince Priebus, who's here tonight, to the Speaker of the House, Paul Ryan, to the Senate Majority Leader, Mitch McConnell, and Trump has promised them himself, I get it. I'm the nominee. I'll be responsible. I understand this isn't just about me. I can affect House and Senate careers, House and Senate candidacies. I can affect the image of the party for decades to come. He's told them that repeatedly. He's told them he wouldn't tweet overnight. He's told them he would focus on the issues. Just moments ago at a campaign rally, I believe he's in Arizona, he's blaming Hillary Clinton for the fact that she didn't close the tax loopholes he took advantage of when he may have filed no taxes. So he's still going down the rabbit hole. He's Donald Trump, and anyone who expects Donald Trump to change is not paying attention to this election. And to that point, to Jamie's point about how critical tonight is for Mike Pence, but more importantly Sunday night for Donald Trump, is that the Democrats have the high ground now. We went through the polling just a few minutes ago. When you have the high ground, you can, what do we need to keep this? What do we need to win? They are winning if the election were today. It's a very different psychology and a very different tactics in a debate where you can focus solely on your strengths and blocking and they essentially take a Game of Thrones. They're in the high ground. They have the catapults. They're throwing the rocks down at the guys trying to get up the hill. That's a huge advantage, and it's a lot of pressure on Mike Pence.
Well, and the election's really already started because of early voting.
Right.
Right.
So a key point, though, is these guys can't make mistakes.
Right.
That's a big piece for both of them.
Right, that you have to walk out of tonight without making
No mistakes.
What about this live tweeting tonight, though, Mark? I mean, this is an issue because here's the thing. You got Mike Pence out trying to do cleanup, as some would say, or certainly show a softer and gentler, more palatable side of Trump to those independent voters.
Right.
And here you got Donald Trump live tweeting.
Well, he's already still in the spotlight now from Mike Pence before Mike Pence has actually taken the stage. So tonight we talk about the two-screen experience. You'll be on CNN.com and you'll be watching it on CNN, and then you'll also be looking at Twitter. And quite frankly, you're going to be looking at Twitter probably more than you will be looking what Donald Trump says. So not only has he stolen the spotlight from Mike Pence tonight, he stole the spotlight when he announced Mike Pence on the day he announced him as his nominee. Two different rollouts. You had back and gave this Tim Kaine, and he did a magnificent job. Mike Pence was off in the wings. Donald Trump did a big wind-up about himself, brought Mike Pence on, and then when Mike Pence turned to see if Donald Trump was going to be there, he had to wait for him to walk back up. So if you're Mike Pence, I mean, look, personally, I would be very mad.
And now, John, you talk about the rally today. He also talked about Bill Clinton talking about Obamacare today when Clinton said it was one of the craziest things in the world. Certainly not helpful for Hillary Clinton. But Donald Trump's response was, Clinton must have gone through hell with his wife over that. There have been many nights when he's gone through hell with Hillary. Again, trying to take it down the personal path.
Instead of staying on the policy path that I told you so, the Republican Party even before me has told you so, this plan is a disaster, and Bill Clinton agrees with us. Take the policy argument instead of taking it down the rabbit hole. But Trump is Trump. This is the way he's a street brawler. This is what he likes. He's also never done this before. And so we've given him grace at certain times during the campaign saying, he's going to learn. Traveling the country, you learn about the country. You learn about running for president. Well, we're 35 days out now. Just one quick point on the Twitter. I am told that they plan to have his team around him tonight as he does that. I suspect if he says I'm getting up...
So he doesn't get to hold the device? He gets to dictate the tweet and someone else decides?
If he just says he's going for a snack or the bathroom, somebody follows him.
And Mark, what are you hearing about his own preparation here in these final days? He's going to watch tonight and see Mike Pence and his preparation, which has been so different and so traditional, and his performance will be very different in terms of substance and policy.
It's going to be a totally different format, too, because he's now going to be taking questions from people in the audience, and
That's the town hall this Sunday.
It will be the town hall, which Anderson Cooper will co-moderate.
Yeah.
Listen, for Donald Trump, I don't expect him to be doing a whole lot of homework. As John says, this is Donald Trump. He is not going to change. He thinks what got him here is going to get him there. That is not going to happen.
So there's no stand-in, there's nothing else.
Not that we're hearing. At this point. But here's the thing about Donald Trump. He's going to have to be able to connect with the voters in the room, which will then show that he can connect with the voters on the screen, because it is the TV screen that is most important, because that's where you're going to get the 60, 70, 80 million people watching. But you need to be able to connect with people in the room. Donald Trump in past town halls has done okay, but it hasn't been a great fit for him.
His best education might actually be to watch Mike Pence tonight, because my prediction is going to be that Pence
And not tweet.
And not tweet.
Just watch.
Don't pay attention.
He needs to borrow Hillary's hammer.
Stay away from Twitter, right? Because my guess is Pence is going to do a good job tonight. He's going to be prosecutorial. I think he's going to be aggressive. I think he's going to see a debate tonight between two grown-ups who are sort of worthy of that stage in essence. And Donald Trump would do well to actually follow his VP choice for once.
All right, thanks very much to all. And now let's send it back inside to Wolf.
Aaron, thank you. As we get ready for the vice presidential candidates to debate right behind me, we're going to hear from their wives first. Let's go to CNN's Jeff Zeleny with Tim Kaine's wife, Ann Holton.
And we're here with Senator Tim Kaine's wife, Ann Holton. And so we're here in Virginia, the big debate. How has Senator Kaine been preparing for tonight?
he's been working hard and, doing the things he's been doing, but listen to some music, get pumped up.
How does he relax?
Music. He loves to make other people listen to his tunes. He loves to play. He loves to sing.
So when you say play, he plays the harmonica. Anything else?
Absolutely. Well, he's been teaching himself how to play an auto harp, but you couldn't say he plays it yet.
Okay. But in terms of the debate itself, what has he been getting ready for? Has he been studying Secretary Clinton's positions or more of Governor Pence's positions?
I'm really not privy to it. I've been out on the campaign trail, and he's been huddled up with his debate team, so I couldn't tell you if I tried.
The country's about to get to know Senator Kaine in an even bigger way tonight. What is one thing you hope that they know about him or learn about him tonight?
Well, I think they'll learn that he and I are both passionate supporters of Secretary Clinton's, that Hillary is the only person in this race who is immediately qualified to be president. And I think you'll hear how strongly he feels about that, and that he's ready to be a strong man supporting a strong woman at the top of the ticket.
It's interesting, a strong man supporting a strong woman. I mean, she would be the first woman president, obviously. What do you think about him working for her?
Yeah, that's kind of one of the exciting things about this race for him and me both, is that, as he says, he's had strong women, including myself, thank you very much, supporting him throughout his many political roles, and now it's a chance to do turnaround, and he relishes the opportunity to be in the supportive role.
Was he watching that first debate, I'm guessing, at Hofstra between Secretary Clinton and Donald Trump?
Oh, absolutely. I think everybody in the nation was watching it, as they should. An important milestone in the campaign.
Has that raised the stakes or the pressure for him, do you think, to keep this sort of momentum?
I think there's a little for me.
Yourself. Is that yourself?
Tim's a really authentic guy who is upbeat on America. This optimism is very deep in his soul, and feels that we really are. The stronger together thing is not just a motto. It really is a fundamental philosophy and approach to life.
Ann Holton, thank you very much for joining us. Good luck tonight.
Thanks. Great to be with you.
Back to you guys.